Okay, we are set. What's going on, everybody? This your boy Bill Mahari here, representing MehariNation Sports Podcast here on a cloudy day here in the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Salute to the entire LDBC. What's going on, guys? I just want to give you guys a little apologies to start out with. Been very busy the last few weeks, man, and haven't been going on live as consistently though, but now it's time to start doing so, and we're to get it popping here. So just go ahead and feel free to smash that like button, and then I'm going to discuss to you guys today about what I've been seeing in the NBA free agency, and I'm telling you, it's been a wild, wild west of epic proportions. And the thing is this, of all the moves that have been made so far, a lot of people in the mainstream media have gotten this majoritively wrong. Okay? Now, I was not surprised about when Kevin Durant decided to leave, but he went to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, just to make sure to give you guys a reminder, Kevin Durant opted not to return to Golden State. He opted to sign a 4-year deal to play for the Brooklyn Nets. And Kyrie joined him there too, and DeAndre joined as well. Now, the sad part about all this is the New York Knicks had the audacity not to give Kevin Durant a max deal. So, like the Knicks. And they were trying to schedule a meeting with Kawhi Leonard, and they canceled on him. So, this just goes to show you the New York Knicks will forever be the second fiddle in the city of New York. You know what I mean? They will never, ever be the same again. You feel me? The bottom line is this. We have remembered the New York Knicks as the face of New York for decades. But ever since James Dolan inherited the team from his father, Charles Dolan, everything has went downhill. And now that what happened here a couple of weeks ago, I was at my sister's graduation, and when the news came out, immediately off the top of my head, I said the New York Knicks are now the second fiddle now. They're now the fiddlers to the Brooklyn Nets, which is foreign to say that decades ago, because I used to remember being the Knicks, never playing second fiddle to the Nets. But you can't take this claim if you're not winning championships. And they've only won 2 championships back in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? And it's just ridiculous how a lot of these people still think that the Knicks are still relevant. They've never been relevant. Okay? And because of that move they made, you could channel all the way back to the Charles Oakley incident and how that was handled. Okay? You saw the players on the court and everybody around America watch how James Dolan disrespected Charles Oakley and forced them out there like garbage. All right? Players and top players look at that, and they see the Knicks as an unstable franchise for an idiot owner. So why do star players have to feel that they're going to go play for New York when they know that their owner doesn't give a crap about the players? Okay? That's the thing. Hey, Duke, what's going on, brother? How you doing today? Thank you for coming in. So, the other thing also big news that came out earlier this morning too is I woke up this morning and salute the Ticket TV, for posting the update. Kawhi Leonard decided to make a move and go to the LA Clippers. But the big news of all was the Clippers got Paul George by trading away 5 future first-round picks and 2 other players in the deal. Now, the bigger story about that is this. The Oklahoma City Thunder were not even going to consider taking a deal with the Clippers. Their original intentions was to try to score a deal to get Pascal Siakam from the Toronto Raptors by trading either Paul George or Russell Westbrook or possibly both. The Raptors rejected that deal. And the way I look at that deal is, I think that the Raptors right now believe in the upside of Pascal Siakam than probably a little bit of an maybe a little bit of a savage start in Paul George per se. But I think realistically they should have bounced. They should have taken a chance on the deal to get at least a star per se. If you're going to trade for the backcourt, you obviously have to trade Kyle Lowry too. But I think what the Raptors are doing right now, they're trying to reassemble some of the pieces that they have of their championship team. They've already lost Kawhi. They've already lost Danny Green. And if I were Masai Ujiri, the general manager of the Toronto Raptors, I would think about possibly thinking about trading Kyle Lowry. I mean, before you couldn't think of that because his stock was not the highest, but since he had a really good playoff run, which concluded to a championship, he's got some good stock to his name at this point. Muhammad is the one. Salute, brother. Thank you for coming in. King Louis, what's going on, brother? Thank you for coming in. You see what I'm saying? So now I want to get into the big premise of all this. The battle lines have been drawn in the city of Los Angeles. Okay? You got the Lakers now with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And now you got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on the same team in the LA Clippers. Now, salute to Jerry West for pulling off another amazing move. Now, he's a consultant for the Clippers, but you cannot dismiss his influence on the Clippers. Okay? This is a guy that is an OG when it comes to these kinds of moves. Okay? And the bottom line is this, though, man. The Lakers are going to forever regret not keeping Jerry West. Okay? They let Jerry West out the door. They allowed him to walk away. And since then, the Lakers still won championships in their recent times. But have they gotten there consistently? They haven't. Even after when Dr. Buss died. So now the thing is this: how are we going to think about this scenario here? One, it reinforces the message that star players do not want to play with LeBron James, okay? Because of the narrative that is around him all the time, okay? Number two, nobody wants to deal with that kind of attention every day. You get little credit if the team's doing well when you're playing with LeBron James, but you also get the majority of the blame when things go wrong. Now, if for any star player to go through that, who wants to deal with that? You know what I mean? Who wants to deal with that kind of scrutiny that's unnecessary all the time? And I know a lot of the star players are looking at LeBron James like, this dude's a total hoe. All right? I don't want to deal with that, especially with all this media people out there that's always going to favor LeBron James and everything he does. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. All right? So, salute to Kawhi Leonard. He made his decision. I would have loved for him to stay in Toronto to defend his championship, but, he fulfilled his obligation, to Toronto, helped them win a championship, and he has nothing else to prove. That's just how it is, Now, the big thing for me is going to be this. The Clippers right now, I believe, in my whole honest opinion, the LA Clippers are going to be the better team than the LA Lakers. The Lakers right now are still trying to figure themselves out right now. They have Anthony Davis and they have LeBron James, and they still kept Kyle Kuzma. Great. But now you have to start implementing the other pieces around. They don't have a good, legitimate point guard. They don't have a versatile big. They don't have much of a bench, okay? So in hindsight, the Clippers have I think this may say this Burrell guy. Let me check out his name real quick. Roster. There you go. They have, Monzel Harrell. Oh yeah, he's a really good beast. And you keep Lou Williams. You re-signed Patrick Beverly. Okay, you still have Danilo Gallinari is going to come back too, and then you have Doc Rivers as your coach. I'm telling you, the Clippers right now, I believe they're going to be the better team for in the battle of Los Angeles, and a championship could be in their future if they continue to develop right and put the right pieces around them. And I think based on how the Clippers performed this previous season and heading into next season, with those two stars together who are both defensive sound and can play offense too, obviously, the Clippers are due to have a breakout year, okay? Now, since the Warriors are going to be on the decline, okay, Muhammad is the one says, oh, okay, they signed Boogie Cousins. Cool. Okay, I'll get into that in a couple minutes. Now, the big thing is going to be for both the Clippers and the Lakers is how can they sustain that kind of winning? Okay. Now, the battle for the West right now is wide open because the Rockets are going to be on the decline. The Warriors are going to be injured middle getting into next season. So that means Steph Curry is going to have to show them more of the load. Okay. Now, we don't know how the Nuggets will be. And obviously, the Blazers are showing to be a good regular season team, but not a team that you could trust in the playoffs. Okay. Now, I believe, in my honest opinion, this is going to be a two-way race between the Clippers and the Lakers. And when's the last time you ever heard that? And let me get into the Lakers now. Since they signed DeMarcus Cousins now, that's going to be a really big signing too. Now, unfortunately, because of the scrutiny that they placed on DeMarcus Cousins, which is not his fault because he's been injured a lot. Unfortunately, he's going to have to sign another one-year deal, and hoping that he can stay healthy through the regular season and the postseason to get the big bucks. All right. So that signing for the Lakers is going to help them in their front line because you know that Big Boogie can post, he can shoot, and he can do a lot of different things. Unfortunately, he wasn't healthy in the finals, so he was very limited to what he can do. But if you put a healthy Boogie Cousins out there in that front line with Anthony Davis, it's going to be something to look at, y'all. I'm telling you that right now. Now, when you look at the Eastern Conference right now, the Brooklyn Nets obviously scored the big prize of getting Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Now, they're going to have to wait one more year until KD comes back. For the other teams in the Eastern Conference, I'm telling you this right now. The Milwaukee Bucks lost Malcolm Brogdon, but they still kept Chris Middleton. Now, they still kept the remaining core pieces, so the only little significant loss was Malcolm Brogdon, which is a bit of a loss, but I wouldn't say it's not a big loss because Malcolm Brogdon's issue has been he's not been able to stay healthy on the floor with those bad feet. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks, I think this time around are going to come back with a vengeance. But you also have to consider the fact that the Philadelphia 76ers too are still going to be in the mix. Despite the fact that they lost Jimmy Butler, they also got Josh Richardson, who is not the closer that Jimmy Butler is, but he can do some sort of the similar things that Jimmy Butler can do. Now, if he puts it together offensively, then he scored a big deal. But they lost J.J. Redick and you lost Tobias Harris. So the Philadelphia 76ers knew that they were only few bounces away from moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. The big question is going to be, can Ben Simmons shoot jump shots consistently to take his game to another level to get them over the hump? That has been the big issue with Ben Simmons throughout the majority of his career. He's so good at driving. He can pass. He can finish at the rim. He can do a lot of different things. The big problem is the ability to hit jump shots, especially when it comes down to crunch time. Okay? If he don't improve that jump shot next season, it's going to be hard for other teams to take a chance on a guy that can't shoot a simple jump shot, which really is a really disturbing thing for me because when you're growing up in the AAU system, when you're learning about basketball, one of the key things you have to learn about is to shoot the basketball. Okay? Now, a lot of kids in the AAU system, play games year-round during the summer. So they're playing straight up games. But they don't take the time. They don't allow themselves the time to go into the gym and work on the key weaknesses in their game, whether it's either shooting, defense, rebounding, free throw shooting, passing. those essential skills that you'll need when you get to your game to the next level. And when you get into the high school and college levels, a lot of the scouts are going to see a lot of your deficiencies. Okay, so it's mind-boggling to me how guys like Giannis and guys like Ben Simmons, they're very good at other things, but they can't make a simple jump. So I believe that Giannis is going to get better with the jump shot. He's got the capability of doing so. It's just basically being consistent with the jump shot. Ben Simmons is going to be a totally different challenge for me. If Ben Simmons can prove that he can hit not jump shots on an above average basis, then the Philadelphia 76ers could probably go over the hump. We just don't know what will happen from there. All right? So anybody's going to be looking at the Knicks for good, you know. Boy, I tell you, when the news came out about when KD decided to go into Brooklyn instead of going to the New York Knicks, I tell you, all the New York fans were crying and just like in complete embarrassment. And then when the reports came out that the Knicks did not offer Kevin Durant the max deal, which is obviously what you'll need to sign him, I mean, it's mind-boggling to me how the Knicks continuously be inept in terms of how they do business. Okay? How do you not give probably the best player in the world, and I should not say probably is the best player in the world, a max deal? Okay? It's absolutely ridiculous. All right? The Knicks will never, ever see the playoffs for a lifetime until James Dolan sells the team. And since the star players know the rap on the Knicks, who would want to go there? Ain't nobody going to be checking out for the New York Knicks. Are you serious? It's absolutely ridiculous, y'all. And I just cannot picture walking around the streets of New York as a Knicks fan and thinking, damn, why James Dolan? Why? You know what I'm saying? It's mind-boggling, man. Absolutely mind-boggling. Now, I'm going to get off that subject there. Now, I'm going to talk about the rankings of what I see in the Eastern Conference, okay? Now, obviously, my prediction for me, in my opinion, will be the team that will come out of the Eastern Conference next season, to me, will be the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously, the Brooklyn Nets are going to be in the mix, okay? People kept sleeping on the Nets last year, and guess what? It worked. It basically, they made the playoffs with a very good talented roster, okay? I got the Milwaukee Bucks, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Brooklyn Nets as the top three teams in the East, okay? Now, in the West, that's going to be a tough, dicey one, but I'm going to go with the LA Clippers as the number one team, then with the Lakers, then the Warriors. Okay? Now, barring what happens then on from free agency, I think that I'm going to stand by those picks. And just remember to translate back to this video. Okay? The big thing that I'm going to notice when it comes down to it is this. Can the Lakers defend at a better level than what they did last year? Okay? LeBron James needs to have a better year than what he had last year. Yes, he was injured most of the year, but he's got to play better, okay? He's got the people around him now to try to get him over the hump to help the Lakers get to the playoffs and possibly get to the finals. Question is going to be, can they put it together? That's what I'm going to be focused on seeing as the season moves on, you know? So that's just how I see it, though, man. And you know, it's been crazy how a lot of these fans, a lot of these people have different takes about what they're seeing right now. You know, I'll say this though for a lot of Brooklyn fans. Okay, a lot of y'all Brooklyn fans, you better start stocking up season tickets next year, or when the KD comes back the year after that. I'll tell you that right now. You know, I mean, man. How do you not how do you not give the man a max contract? Yes, he's coming back from an Achilles tear injury, but how do you not give him a max contract? Just mind-boggling. Muhammad is the one that said, let's be fair, Abil. The Knicks have had a history of signing players with those type of injuries. Oh, yeah. I agree. I do agree with that. But the players that you're talking about, with the exception of Stoudemire, I wouldn't say that they were, top-tier players. They were really good players. But, it's Kevin Durant. It's Kevin Durant. I'm sorry. That's just how I see it, though, man. It's Kevin Durant. You should have given him the max deal, but you didn't. So, it's just a damn shame, man. It's an absolute damn shame what has happened here, man. The Knicks right now, damn. The Knicks will never, ever be relevant ever again. Never, ever. Okay? But I'm going to stop talking about the Knicks because nobody cares about the Knicks anymore. I want to talk to you. I want to talk about what the Warriors are going to have to do next season. Okay? Now, Draymond Green is going to be a free agent at the end of next season. Okay? Now, I've heard a lot of the people in the LBBC with their takes about about what the Warriors have to do. Here's what the Warriors have to do. They're able to trade to get D'Angelo Russell. Okay? Good piece to have. Okay? Now, the big thing that they're going to have to do is this. They're going to have to probably play through the season and improve the bench. The bench was one of the main weak points in the NBA Finals, and it proved to be their downfall as the series progressed, okay? Now, what they're going to have to do is reinvest more into the bench, develop one of those guys, Quentin Cook or a McKinney or somebody like that, and basically go through the rigorous courses of the season and improve one of their main weaknesses of shooting, defense, whatever, okay? Now, I do think that Andre Iguodala, as good as a player he's been, I think his time in Golden State is basically near his finish line. That's what I believe, okay? Now, you're going to have to reassemble the defense, and also Draymond Green is going to have to show that he can play at a better level than what he did, okay? Now, I will agree to this. I believe that the rant that Kevin Durant and Draymond Green had in the Clipper game earlier that season, the previous season, was the main reason why Kevin Durant left Golden State, okay? Now, if things would have been different, I don't know if he would have stayed or not. That's just up for debate. But, for Draymond Green, I blame him for basically, getting into Kevin Durant's face and saying, hey, we don't need you. We were better without you, And that is just completely ridiculous how he went on it that way. I don't care if it was an emotional outburst or anything like that. You just don't say those kind of things, because with a person like Kevin Durant, he doesn't forget those kind of things, okay? He don't forget those kind of things. And at the same time, it proved to be the downfall, okay? Now, they did the right thing of re-signing Klay Thompson. That's important, okay? They did the right thing keeping Klay Thompson. You don't ever want to lose either Klay or Steph, because if you lose either or, you're screwed. So they did the right thing and kept him intact, okay? So what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to reassemble themselves in free agency and basically go after another star down the line, okay? Now, if they decide to go through the draft, you're going to have to start drafting an area need, like either another versatile guard or forward, and try to develop him that way, okay? Now, the Warriors, they're going to be fine. They're not in any trouble. They're just going to have to restructure and reassemble the roster, okay? So the Warriors right now, I expect it to be at least 3rd or 4th in the West at this point, And the thing is, I think that the Warriors right now are going to be in a better position in the future than they are at this point, okay? So that's my take on what the Warriors should probably do at this particular point in time. But I tell you this, though. This has been one of the craziest off seasons I've ever seen in all my years of watching as an NBA fan. I mean, so many moves, so many drastic signings. I mean, it has been unbelievable. I've never seen that kind of I've never seen these kind of moves made, though. Now, a lot of the casual fans will tell you, "Oh, we don't like super teams. I don't like stars teaming up together." Well, I don't like it either. But guess what? This is today's NBA. You just either gonna have to just deal with it or just don't watch the games. Okay. I'm never gonna stop watching the games, even though I have my complaints about how the game should be played better. Okay. So at the end of the day, this has been a crazy offseason. And also the draft. The draft was even crazier too. Okay. We're about to see the murders of a young star in Zion Williamson. Okay. We're going to see what RJ Barrett does in the pro game. And then we're going to see how John Morant does as now the point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, I'll tell you, and also on a side note, Utah got better as well. Getting Mike Conley in a trade too. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be epic. Okay. The Jazz right now, they're creeping up there, guys. They're creeping up there in the West. Okay. Don't be surprised if they put themselves in the top 4 or the top 3 category. Okay. The way they play defense and the way that Donovan Mitchell's getting better every year he's going on right now. And now you add Mike Conley into the mix though, too. I'm telling you, man, be aware of the Jazz next season. Okay. In the West. All right. They could possibly be what Denver was this past season and probably better. Okay. So keep an eye on that. Salute to the Jazz, though, too, for the way they've been able to keep rebuilding their team. And despite the fact that we've had controversial things to say about their fans and the racist stuff they say to players, which is absolutely true, you cannot dismiss the fact that they have a very good organization there. Okay, they've been doing a good job, putting together pieces to help their team together. And then finding a raw talent in Donovan Mitchell that's going to be the best player for years to come. So it's going to be an interesting take of how the Jazz will put themselves together next season. All right? That's a little side take for that. Now, I'm going to wrap it up by stating this. This has been a fantastic offseason. A lot of moves, a lot of decisions, a lot of things, a lot of shuffling. But at the end of the day, we're going to see a new era of NBA basketball with these rookies coming in. The emergence of a new young rookie in Zion Williamson, LeBron James on his final hurrahs in the next few years, and then also with the Clippers, with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George as well. What will the Warriors do to reassemble themselves? How will the Milwaukee Bucks bounce back? How will the Philadelphia 76ers bounce back? And how will the Celtics look as well? And also on the Celtics, though, too. The Celtics right now, they got too many pieces to be flushed out the toilet at this point, okay? You lost Al Horford, and now you lost Kyrie Irving. To be honest with you, I think that the Celtics right now are due for a bit of a down year, even though they basically got Kemba Walker, which is not a bad signing to it in itself. But I think that the Celtics are in for a down year because there's too many players playing the same position and not enough room for logging any minutes for any players as well. Okay? And please get rid of Terry Rozier. I'm so sick and tired of seeing Terry Rozier's ugly looking ass all over the court saying, "Oh, I should be a starter. I should be getting minutes on the floor." Dude, please. Listen, the last time I saw you starting, you went goose egg in a game 7 against LeBron James and the Cavaliers. Don't tell me you deserve to start. All right? I don't want to hear it. Okay? The dude is always talking about, "Oh, I should be a starter in this league." Oh, and on national television, he's like, "Hey, Kyrie still my shot. I should be starting in this league." Yeah, right. Get out of here with that, man. These players today, man, always complaining about wanting to get minutes and all that stuff. Get out of here, man. Jay Dixon said, "Real talk, Zion needs to drop some weight." Well, I'll tell you this though. The NBA trainers are going to work with Zion Williamson and help him effectively with his weight a bit. I don't see him dropping any weight. Maybe just keeping him strong to make sure that his knees don't get hurt in the long run. But the guy can do so many things on both ends of the floor. Okay, and now you got basically a young core of Brandon Ingram and Julius Randle, and now Zion Williamson with them too. The New Orleans Hornets has got something that they can look forward towards in the future as well. So we'll see how Zion Williamson adjusts to the NBA level. I can't wait for the matchups we're going to see. And with LeBron James, and with Giannis, Ben Simmons, matchups galore. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. You know what? This is gonna feel like when LeBron James made his debut in the NBA, and all the hype around LeBron James. That's just going to feel like when Zion Williamson starts his first game in the NBA. I'm telling you that right now. You watch what I tell you. You know what I'm saying? That's that type of feel that you're gonna see right there. All right. And he said he's already hurt his knee and he's gonna be missing the rest of the preseason. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. That's the downside of being that big. You know what I'm saying? That's the downside of being 285, but all that freakish athletic ability, But I think he'll be fine. But you just got to be careful. You just got to be careful not to do too much. A lot of young players in the NBA, they tend to, try to shoulder the load, try to shoulder way too much of the load. You know what I mean? I'm the star player, so I'm going to depend on doing this all myself. And sometimes shouldering too much of the load can wear you down both mentally and physically. So if the Pelicans don't help out this kid, get the talent around him to try to help him out to get to where the team needs to go, don't be surprised in 3 or 4 years, Zion Williamson is going to be looking elsewhere after his rookie contract is over. Don't be surprised by that, y'all. I'll tell you this right now, okay? So, and he actually checked out the website, though. He's actually going to miss the summer league. So the preseason, we don't know that yet. So it's early. It's way early in the summer. So we'll see what happens with Zion Williamson. But he's going to be a tremendous impact in the NBA. So we closed out the 2010 era with LeBron James making the decision to go to Miami earlier in the decade, winning 3 championships in 4 years, and then the emergence of the Golden State Warriors. Okay, with their dynasty, LeBron James ending the Cleveland drought and leading into their first championship. Dirk Nowitzki winning his first championship of his career after 11 to 12 years in the league, and now Kawhi Leonard coming back after a whole season missing out due to injury, coming back and leading the Toronto Raptors to their first ever championship. I'll tell you though, it was a fascinating decade of NBA basketball in the 2010s. Now we're moving on to the new era, to a new decade of 2020. So we already got some super teams on the horizon. But we're going to see what's going to happen as this new era unfolds. And how will the game change? How will basketball be viewed now? I'll tell you this though, the NBA is at a good place at this point, although with the exception of the Knicks side note. But other than that, the NBA is at a good place, because you got so many talented players who basically are known worldwide. There's a huge audience of people who are interested in NBA basketball globally. I mean, the NBA right now is at a very good spot, in terms of financially, in terms of its popularity, everything, the whole 100 yards, while the NFL struggles to try to maintain its old viewers instead of, opening up their audience better. Okay. So the NBA is at a good spot. We'll see what happens as a new decade starts. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up on y'all guys. I want to thank you guys for sticking around with me. And I'm going to do my best to be more consistent with my live streams, and also share this live stream on your social media platforms, and smash the like button on the way out though. We got 11 likes so it's a really good number. So let's keep it up. Let's keep moving forward and try to make things happen though. Okay? So this has been Abil Mehari representing MehariNation Sports Podcast. Oh, and tomorrow, I'm going to talk to you guys about how Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz must happen immediately. So that's going to be the topic of discussion for tomorrow, and I'm going to explain to you why it should be the fight that everybody needs to see instead of the match between Wilder versus Joshua. So prepare for that tomorrow. But anyway, this has been Abil Mehari, representing MehariNation Sports Podcast here. Salute to the entire LWC, and we out. See you tomorrow, everybody.